Hello again, Taylor here, PR representative for the SCP Foundation. We found that viewers have been responding very well to these forays and to showing what we do every day and normalizing the Foundation's work. And you know what? Our media department, we've enjoyed making them. So allow us to showcase some more of our hotly requested objects with top 5 terrifying SCPs feared by the devil. Our media department suggested that title would do well. Please, requisition more of these videos should you find them enjoyable. Let's begin. Starting off with number 5, SCP-049, the Plague Doctor. Whenever the Foundation releases press junkets or entertains visitors, SCP-049 always proves to be a popular one. It actually even gets a fair share of mail. SCP-049 is a Euclid-class object resembling a humanoid male, standing an impressive 6'2" and bearing the resemblance of a medieval plague doctor. Rather fascinatingly and disturbingly, it isn't actually wearing an outfit or a garb. Its outward appearance seemingly has grown organically from SCP-049's body, similar to hair or fingernails. Its mask is a chitinous structure. X-rays have shown that SCP-049 does contain a humanoid skeleton, with the interesting exception of a beak protruding from the skull. SCP-049 has been shown to communicate clearly with Foundation members in a variety of spoken languages, although its preferred dialects are an archaic form of medieval French and modern-day English. It is generally ambivalent to Foundation researchers and staff, but it has been shown to experience bouts of great emotional distress and aggravation should it feel the presence of something it refers to as the pestilence nearby. Now, what the pestilence is unclear, but it is of immense concern to SCP-049. Now, just to be advised, this next information could be a bit unsettling to some viewers. Rest assured that this entity is being held very tightly under Foundation watch. When SCP-049 feels that something has become infected by this pestilence, it will work to remove it by first flatlining the biological object merely through a touch of direct skin, causing all biological functions to cease immediately. Usually in observation, SCP-049 then performs a crude surgery on its victims, using a black bag of tools that it carries with it. The victims are then reanimated, becoming an instance that we've dubbed SCP-049-2. These reanimated objects are shown to be sluggish, operating with poor motor skills, and generally are inactive. They don't seem to be too sentient unless commandeered by SCP-049. They have been shown to be quite aggressive though, and autopsies have revealed bizarre physiology that doesn't correlate with any medical knowledge found in these instances of SCP-049-2. Despite their condition, however, SCP-049 refers to these entities as cured. SCP-049 is contained within a standard human containment cell and is provided a corpse of a large mammal once every 2 weeks for study as long as it maintains good behavior. Human contact is explicitly forbidden to all Foundation and non-Foundation personnel. And my viewers, if you're looking for more SCP content, well, we've got a very well-stocked archive just waiting for you here on Top 5 Scary and a whole lot more. Click through, subscribe, and stay safe and stay informed. Number 4, SCP-166, the Reindeer. SCP-166 is a Euclid-class object, manifesting as a human female, although one that appears to share more with ungulates than humans. It has large antlers stemming from its head, hooved feet, and a small bushy tail most closely resembling a reindeer. All containment staff interacting with SCP-166 in any regard are to be equipped with biohazard suits at all times when interacting with her in Containment Zone C in Site-19, which has been modified to include a hermetically sealed chamber. Now, due to SCP-166's unique anatomy, the Foundation provides her with her own loose-fitting organic clothing, with a new set being distributed each month. Interestingly, SCP-166 is to be tended to exclusively by female staff, as there appears to be some sort of hypnotic aura present on male staff members around her, who we've noticed develop an unhealthy compulsive obsession manifesting in various ways, from a sexual lust to aggression to a nurturing desire to protect. Over 70% of males recorded interacting with her for any periods of longer than a few minutes have developed these symptoms. Quite interestingly, SCP-166 is emotionally distraught by this, and she doesn't seem to understand what anomalous ability that is causing this. We've recorded that when within a 15-meter radius of SCP-166, artificial objects return to an unworked state. What this means in layman's term is that she has an incredibly powerful regression aura. Take for example, a mobile phone. It's a very complicated piece of electronics, but any common cellular phone from any major manufacturer will experience all of its metallic components decay almost immediately. Stone buildings, products made of organic materials decay at a virtually imperceptible rate. Fascinatingly, within this regression radius though, plant life begins to sprout seemingly in impossible places out of machinery or a place with no soil to speak of. In fact, SCP-166's entire existence seems to suggest some sort of rejection of man-made substances. It has an incredibly increased sensitivity to just about any artificial materials or pollutants, with inhalation of these things causing ulcers and acute asthma attacks. SCP-166 was discovered in relatively sheltered conditions. An agent of another organization I'm not at liberty to mention discovered her and was tasked with flatlining the object, but instead chose to smuggle it to a Catholic convent, where it would live unbothered in secret for a decade, until being spotted by a visitor, wherein our Foundation was contacted, and the object has now been recovered and is treated properly. Number 3. SCP-682, the reptile. SCP-682 is a Keter class object and might very well be the most destructive force currently in Foundation care, and one of our most difficult to contain. SCP-682 manifests as a humongous reptilian creature of unknown origin. Despite its outwards unbecoming appearance, the creature has been shown to be extremely intelligent and is able to communicate complex thoughts with other entities. It is outwardly incredibly aggressive, with a hatred for life in the truest definition of the word. It is enraged by the sight and concept of living beings. SCP-682 has proven unimaginably durable, showing extremely high strength, speed, reflexes, and heightened thought level. It's capable of changing mass rapidly, growing or decreasing in size as it sees fit as it consumes or sheds material. It's able to process energy from just about everything it consumes, organic or otherwise. And most concerningly, the entity is shown to regenerate at such a rapid rate that any injuries it sustains have little to no effect. Within minutes, they are reverted. Even when near death, SCP-682 is not deterred. It's been recorded still speaking, still acting with aggression, with over 87% of its body matter destroyed. Previous attempts to use other SCPs in a bid to try and destroy the object proved fruitless. This is why it's a Keter class object and one of the few objects we are seeking to destroy outright. It's currently contained in a 5x5x5 meter chamber with reinforced acid-resistant steel plate lining the cell walls, and this chamber is perpetually pumped with hydrochloric acid in an attempt to slow the entity down. All personnel are forbidden from making any contact with SCP-682 unless explicit written permission has been made, in order to avoid provoking SCP into a fit of rage. When it does breach containment, teams of highly trained MTF units are sent out in numbers no less than 7. As of this recording, there have been 17 attempted breaches, one of the highest in Foundation records. But we catch it every time. Number 2. SCP-811, the Swamp Monster. SCP-811 is a Euclid class object manifesting as another human female with a mottled green skin color, disproportionately long limbs, and a thin physiology with a slightly bloated abdomen. It stands approximately 5.5 feet tall, weighing just under 47 kilograms. We believe that its green skin provided it with some sort of camouflage effect when living in its natural habitat among the swamps. It has extremely dirty, greasy black hair that is either naturally resistant to any chemical cleaning agents, or it is so accumulated in brine and filth that we are unable to remove it. We've observed that oils, sweat, and fluid produced from SCP-811 act as skin irritants, but not in any lasting manner. It shows a rudimentary understanding of humans, language, and socialization, but it's more akin to feral children that have been recorded as living in the wild, such as Victor of Averon. It has a very rudimentary understanding of what we do. SCP-811 is constantly secreting a clear green tinted mucus, which causes organic matter that comes into contact with it to rapidly decompose at a worrying rate. Though, through processes not completely understood, the matter affected will be reduced into a viscous, unknown black sludge. The SCP then absorbs this black substance through its pores, and biopsies have shown that this black sludge is running through its entire circulatory system, so whether or not we think it's its blood is up for debate. This next bit of information is a bit crass, I will warn you. SCP-811 does not defecate traditionally and lacks any sort of digestive tract. Instead, it processes this black substance into a tar, which it then voids by a projectile regurgitation, which it uses when hunting, spraying at the face of its target or any open wounds, resulting in asphyxiation or bacterial infection. SCP-811 is kept in a climate-controlled glass enclosure filled with wetland soil and stagnant water, furnished with a variety of aquatic plants from its native region, which I am not at liberty to disclose. Good behavior is rewarded with rich soil and new logs of manageable size. SCP-811 proves to be very popular with new researchers and especially younger men. The Foundation would like to take this time to remind all viewers that despite SCP-811's outward appearance, it is still an ambush predator and has been shown on some occasions to surprise, so to speak, unexpected, inexperienced researchers. Number 1. SCP-783, the Crooked Man. SCP-783 is a Keter class object manifesting itself as an incredibly aggressive, hostile entity currently preying upon residents of Tembe, a rural hamlet in Oxfordshire, England. Because of the nature of the entity and its acting aggression, a few key buildings in Tembe have been converted into Foundation monitoring field stations, an unsuspecting building near a local hospital, as well as 2 other quiet domiciles details I'm not at liberty to say have been converted into frontline MTF stations. SCP-783 has proven rather difficult to capture, and as of this recording, it's still currently eluding proper containment. Its exact physical description has yet to be ascertained, as well as the full nature of its abilities. The only data we have to work with is its targets, although we currently don't have any consistent pattern found with the victims, and as such have yet to be able to prevent an attack or provide any assistance to victims of SCP-783. Any building where a target of SCP-783 is currently residing will experience a degradation of materials. Outwardly, the building collapses, crumbles, and cracks, giving a crooked appearance. This crooked effect extends to any biological entity entering the anomalous interior, causing immediate horrific deformation that is critically damaging. We have a few images of bodies recovered, and I will warn you, they can be a bit upsetting. Victims of 783 are shown to have severe deformations across the bone structure, a result of dozens upon dozens of small hairline fractures in the long bones, and these limbs have been stretched past the point of human normalcy. These give the victims a crooked, gnarled appearance. Despite these injuries, however, most victims unfortunately remain alive after an SCP-783 attack, although rendered fully paralyzed or in vegetative states. We currently have 27 living residents in our condition in our critical but stable care. The residents of Tembe seem fully aware of the entity's presence, and the children have even been recorded singing an off-putting nursery rhyme telling of the legend. I'll share it with you here. There lived a crooked man who made a crooked deal. He kept a crooked cane and his catch in crooked creel. He stole a crooked child who cried a crooked squeal, and that crooked little man was broken on the wheel. Well, I appreciate your viewership. Thank you so much, audience, and I'll see you in the next video.